Hello! If you are seeing this video, then congratulations! We here at Citrussoft have carefully selected you to test out our new game based off of our popular line of Chibi Robo cleaning models. This game puts you in the whimsical shoes of our very own Chibi Robo, and puts you on a magical adventure through a struggling family's house. What adventures await for you? Only one way to find out in Chibi Robo Plug-in Adventure.
Hey everyone, it's Knife here, and today we're going to be talking about a game called Chibi Robo. Now, this game was developed by Skip Ltd and published by Nintendo. It released in 2005 in Japan and 2006 in the West. The game was very well received for its simple and fun nature, and even spawned a few sequels, some being good like the Japanese exclusive DS title, and some being ziplash. But regardless, we're going to be talking about the first entry in the series, Chibi Robo Plug-in Adventure. So the game takes place in the house of the Sanderson family, a traditional American family who's living in a 1960s Japanese-style house. The family consists of the father, George Sanderson, who is a lazy, jobless bum, his MILF wife, Helen Sanderson, who frankly hates her husband and probably her life a little bit, and their daughter, Jenny, who wears a frog hat and only speaks in ribbits. Her speaking in only ribbits has definitely caused a strain between her and her parents. So flash forward to the start of the game. You are a birthday present for Jenny, and something tells me that he got this more for himself than anything. Whether or not that's the case, this little robot will end up packing some pretty big surprises for the whole family. Your main goal is to clean up the house and become the best little robot you can be, aided by your flying companion Television, who acts as a mouthpiece for Chibi, and also a bit of second-person storytelling. The game starts off pretty simple. You're just cleaning up the living room, but as more time goes on, you unlock more rooms and you meet more characters, namely being toys. Now, the toys in this house aren't normal toys, no. They're magic toys. And these magic toys can talk, but they only choose to talk when people aren't around. Kind of reminds me of that movie, where it's a story about the toys. Some of the characters include Sophie, who is Tao the dog's chew toy and is madly in love with Drake Redcrest, who is an action figure with kind of a Buzz Lightyear thing going on. There's some eggs who call themselves the Free Rangers, and they're all named after cities. And their one and only mission is to get revenge on the household dog, Tao, who ate one of their comrades. There's even a pirate, and the pirate is Captain. As you play through the game and complete different character quests and storylines, you will get stickers, which is a pretty good progression indicator. So, before we get into the story of the game, let me explain some of the main mechanics. So, there are two kind of currencies in the game, the first being moolah, which can be found around the map. It is given you for doing quests and chores and stuff, and there's even stuff like hidden chibi doors throughout the map, which give you extra moolah as well. Moolah can be spent on upgrades and items for Chibi Robo, and even things that increase the amount of time you have in each day. Happy points are the second currency, and they are gained by doing housework and solving problems. You can't actually spend the happy points on anything, as they are what raise your Chibi Robo ranking. Your Chibi Robo ranking being a little score you have throughout the game, which is basically a progression tracker for the main story. Each time you rank up, you receive more battery life. Now, you've probably noticed in the bottom right corner of your screen, a little battery that goes down with each step you take. Now, this is kind of another limit the game sets on you, as you only have a certain amount of steps and time to do the things you need to do. You can recharge your energy at one of the many outlets throughout the house, but make sure your energy doesn't run to zero, because if it does, you'll faint, end up at the Chibi house, and somehow you'll have less moolah. There are also multiple collectibles in the game, like the frog rings that you can bring to Jenny to get some extra happy points, or the colored bricks that you can bring to the dinosaurs that tried to eat you. Whoa. Did you guys hear that? I mean, that wasn't just me, right? I mean, you guys heard that too, right? You eventually get some tools in your adventure that help you in your cleaning endeavors, like a toothbrush that helps you scrub stains off the floor, a propeller that helps you float to other surfaces, or a gun. Can't make the stains if you're dead. Can't make the stains if you're dead. No more stains if there's no more life. Lastly, I want to talk about the day and night cycle. So I'd kind of mentioned earlier that you can buy a few items in the shop to upgrade your time you have in each half day. So there's 5, 10, and 15 minutes. I personally prefer the 15 so you can take a nice leisurely stroll. And once that time is up, you head back to the Chibi house and then do it all again. Now, it's good to explore everywhere in both day and night because there are different characters in different places, or characters that just aren't out during the day. So, a combination of you being bought, plus Mr. Sanderson's poor financial decisions, plus him not having a job, has created some marital tension, understandably so. So, he has to sleep on the couch until he apologizes and feels bad for what he's done. But it's okay, because this doesn't concern you. What does concern you, however, are the Spidors, which are miniature robots that have started attacking Chibi robots in households everywhere. Their theme also sounds like the King of the Hill theme. Wait. Even though Mr. Sanderson says you guys are supposed to be friends, they still pose a threat and an obstacle to you throughout the entire game. However, whenever they're killed, they drop scrap, which can help Chibi Robo make utilibots, which are things like ladders or teleporters that help him just traverse the map easier. Okay, you had to have heard it this time. I know I'm not going crazy. Okay, I think there's a noise coming from the basement. Using the mug to block the shots from the Free Rangers in the foyer, you head over to the basement entrance. And heading down, you find a large robot that looks strangely like yourself. You come to find that this robot's name is Giga Robo. It's an older model of you that's 10 times your size and uses 1,000 times the power. This became a big problem, because when they came out, they were as popular as the Chibi Robo, if not more popular. And since they use so much energy, it caused a huge energy crisis, which caused people to just kind of toss theirs aside and not use them anymore. A wooden pirate named Captain Plankbeard begs you to help Giga Robo, as he knew Giga Robo when he was the main robot of the house. You see, Captain Plankbeard used to be a pirate that would steal moolah, but upon seeing how poor and hungry, I guess, the Sanderson family was, he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. So somehow that, I don't know, Giga Robo was involved. I guess they became buddies after. I kind of miss that. And now he's asking you for help in turning Giga Robo back on. Now, since Giga Robo's battery takes so much power, it would be a huge financial burden on the Sandersons. So Chibi Robo and Telly decide that they're going to take it on themselves to charge up Giga Robo's battery. Now, this ends up costing a whopping 10,000 moolah, which is a lot. On top of that, even when you charge the battery, Giga Robo's still missing a leg. Hey, did I mention the Sandersons are in financial ruin? Because that's something the game likes to remind you a lot of. I mean, in pretty much everywhere, you're reminded of it. You see stacked up bills everywhere, you see red lines and red numbers. You're being told about how the father doesn't have a job, and how he's a bum, and how the mom's all stressed out. So, it turns out that Mr. Sanderson had bought another toy, and was trying to hide it from his wife. But, in classic Chibi Robo fashion, just trying to make things right, you bring the receipt to Mrs. Sanderson. This sends her into an outrage, where she writes a letter dissing her entire family, even the dog and her kid, and at the end of it, asks Mr. Sanderson for a divorce. I gotta be honest. Up until this point, I didn't see that coming. I mean, divorce? Like, I get it. She's not wrong. But, come on, you're a little robot. And you clean. Why are you dealing with subject matters like divorce? Now, even though that this divorce is entirely the dad's fault, he puts it on his daughter, his dog, and even you, Chibi Robo, to make things right. Exploring more through upstairs, you find Jenny's room, and you see that Jenny is entranced by her TV. So much so that she doesn't even notice her toys are jumping around and talking. What's she entranced by, you may ask? A strange symbol that's flooding propaganda into her mind. You know, now that I mention it, it actually looks like the symbol that's in the backyard. Well, those things probably aren't related, so it's whatever. After doing such heroic tasks like saving Princess Pitts and reuniting her with her lover, Mort the Mummy, and helping Funky Phil the Flower asexually reproduce to have more Funky Phils. Even seeing some of the Free Rangers going AWOL, being tired of their commander's bullshit, and wanting to live their own lives with their own passions. And what does this all lead up to? The Chibi Radar. Now, at first, I thought this was stupid, dumb, boring, a waste of an item slot. But no. I was a fool. For this is one of the best items in the game. This is how you progress the story. So you can use this to find little secrets throughout the map to get yourself more happy points and some more moolah. But its main use is in the backyard, on that funky little pattern I was talking about earlier. If you use it there in the dead of night, aliens come down, and they oddly look like you. Now, you have to get another chip to understand them, because at first they are very quiet, but once you do, you know that they're asking if they can go see their friend. It turns out that their friend is Chibi Robo. So, 10 years ago, Chibi Robo had saved them as they were crash landing to Earth. Because of his good deed, they decided to give him 2 wishes, with his first wish being to give life to all of the toys in the house. Now, they didn't have enough power for a second wish, so they had to return back to their home planet, and this was them coming back to fulfill that promise. Now, they can't grant him this second wish because he's kind of dead at the moment, but they do let you onto their ship to save them from oxygen poisoning. On their ship, you find a time machine that lets you travel back 10 years in the past, and you know it's the past because everything is sepia-toned. Among the room, you're able to find some very important things, like some mystery schematics, and even the password to the briefcase that holds Chibi Robo's leg. Upon going back to the present in the Sandersons' room and opening the briefcase, the Chibi Robo leg isn't the only thing that's waiting for you. There are a bunch of giant spiders that start attacking you and everybody else, and they're so big that you can't even get them, with your Chibi Robo blaster. They even start attacking the Sanderson family, which leads them to barricade themselves in the living room. Upon being barricaded in the living room, you find out that Mr. Sanderson isn't a stupid loser, he's a smart one. So it turns out that Mr. Sanderson had made the Spiders with the original intention of being friends with the Chibi Robo, but the company he was working for, who was the rival of Citrusoft, made them evil, and so he ended up quitting. He wasn't fired from his job, he quit. Upon this shocking revelation, you and Mr. Sanderson head upstairs to grab his tools, while still trying to survive the attacks from the big Spiders. Upon safely returning back to the living room, and about ready to upgrade Chibi Robo's Chibi Blaster, you run into one more problem. Mr. Sanderson doesn't know where the schematics are. But as the GOAT Chibi Robo is, and he's the GOAT, and you should know it at this point, he's got him. You got him in the past. It's fine. You actually are probably you're probably a decent chance the reason why they're gone. Thinking about it, because you took them. So that would make a lot of sense. But still, you got them. So you're coming in clutch and saving the day. So then you get a pretty cool sequence where you're upgraded and everyone has cool welding masks on, even the dog. Once you have the upgraded Chibi Blaster, you have one goal in mind. Fuck cleaning. You're killing all these 8-legged sons of bitches. And upon double pumping a few in the foyer, you hear some screams coming back from the living room. It turns out the Sanderson family has been tied up and covered in webs and hung from the ceiling by none other than the mother of Spiders, Queen Spider. So this leads to an actual boss fight, which threw me for a loop personally, because I was used to the comfy, cozy nature of this game, and now the fact that I have to kill some queen robot, that's kind of crazy. But once you defeat the Queen of the Spiders, the Sanderson family's marital problems are just fine. They're gone. They're okay now. Which makes me wonder. He has no job. He's kind of a lazy bum and doesn't do much around the house. Does he have a Chibi Robo no one's talking about? You know what I mean. But yeah, the Spiders have been defeated. You are now rank 1 in the Chibi Robo rankings and are the Super Chibi Robo, which is a great accomplishment. Everything's great, right? Almost. So, there's another newscast. This time, it is talking about how the Chibi Robos are becoming very, very popular and are starting to cause another energy crisis. I mean, and you're thinking, oh my god, this is a huge problem. I mean, what are we going to do about this? You don't got to do anything. You're just a little robot. You can't fix something like a power grid issue. I mean, and while this broadcast is going on, you give Giga Robo his leg back. And with this newfound power he has, he's able to walk up the stairs and out into the backyard, getting ready to claim that wish. Upon arriving, the aliens come down to give him his second wish, that being infinite power for all robos everywhere. Problem solved. There we go. So with this, you have no more restricted battery life. It is now infinite, and you can go pretty much anywhere you want. So that's it. That's the end of the game. Everything's good. Giga Robo's chilling. The family's chilling. Somehow. There's some post-game stuff, but I'm gonna leave that a bit of a secret. And yeah, that's really it. Wow. This is definitely one of my favorite games that I've played in a while. I mean, it's simple fun. I mean, you're just cleaning your little robot that cleans. And, you know, something that's kind of nice is you're in the background a lot of the time. You're not really a cause of anything. You're just kind of there. And as you get to know more characters, you eventually become more of a main character in everyone else's story. And I think that's pretty cool. I think it shows the strengthening of relationships with Chibi Robo, and I think it makes you feel more at home and at place in the setting of the game, which is cool. There's no world to save or deep emotional journey that you go throughout the game. You're just a little cleaning robot that happens to be in the middle of a crazy time for a family. I can go on and on about the quirks and charms of this game, but one last thing that I want to mention is as you're walking, each footstep you take makes a little music note. You know, many times throughout the game, you are told to spread the happiness. And I gotta say, through playing the game, the happiness was spread even to me. I don't know how you can play this game without a smile on your face and a fucking giggle queued up. Cause, I mean, it's a great game. I mean, I enjoy it so much that I actually made a little cleaning robot for myself, for my own apartment, thought it'd make things easier.
Hey little guy, how you doing? And I get it, you bought me to clean up, but like have some fucking decency. How did you live before this? Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I've just been so busy the last few days, I haven't been able to get to anything. No, man. Sorry doesn't cut it. This shit is fucked up.
Whoa there, hold your horses, buddy. You're the trash robot, not me.
No, man, you know what? Fuck you. Here's your trash. Here's your trash. Fuck you.
Wait a second. Why are you soaking wet? What the fuck? It was weird growing up watching YouTube, because I'm 22 now, and, I grew up watching a lot of Nintendo YouTubers, and oftentimes I would hear about this game, Chibi Robo. And I would just hear praises sung constantly for it. I mean, everyone loved it. Everyone was saying we want, a good, actual, faithful sequel in the West. Ziplash sucks, and I didn't get it until I played the game. And I get it now. I get it all now. And although some parts of the game aren't the most self-explanatory, and I admittedly did find myself lost a few times, I never was bored, because it always felt, even if I couldn't figure out what to do in the story, I was still able to just explore and clean, and that was enough for me personally. Yeah, I think this game is best enjoyed with a joyous, whimsical heart and the purest of intentions, but if you're not able to do that, that is completely fine. I think you'll still get a good amount of enjoyment out of the game anyways. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I really enjoy this game. I recommend you play it if you can. I believe it's on Nintendo Switch 2, GameCube, whatever. So I recommend it. Because even though I told most of the story, there's still a lot of stuff that I didn't talk about so that people can enjoy it. Because, you know, I never want to, like, say everything about a game in these videos. Because then I feel like, you know, once you've watched the video, then there's no reason to play the game. You know, I want people to leave the video going, like, oh, I want to play this game now. Or even just, I want to check out more stuff about this game. I think a title like Chibi Robo, especially when it hasn't gotten a faithful, like, actual faithful sequel in the West, you know, when it's 20, almost 20 years old, people aren't gonna know about it that are, like, younger than me. Probably not. So I want to tell them about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and